do soil tests? No. Nobody told us. Sisi tulijua ni kuja kupanda. So then we started getting that issue. We have to have soil tests. This is a coffee farm previously. So like you who are going the, what is it called? Maize and what? Your soils are acidic. Your soils will affect the uptake of the fertilizers that you put there. Because when it is acidic, what does the acid do? Inakataza exchange of minerals, abale. This one will give you more details about that one. So we did soil tests. So what do you require for the soils? What is the composition of the soil that is needed?
There's a mixture between clay and loam. So we say more of loam soil for drainage.
Okay.
Because clay is holding more water.
Okay.
That will encourage root rot or phytophthora. So the good one is loam. Okay. Loam soil.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what kind pH?
pH should be 5.5 to 6.5.
Okay.
If it is exceeding 6.5, it will line. That's a on it.
Okay. Yeah. And the frequency of the liming?
Yeah, liming to be soil test.
Soil test. So every year you have to do soil test. If you overlime, then you take your calendar back to the other side. You go to the danger side. So it's either too acidic or too alkaline. So you're liming to correct it, but if you overlime, again you get too much alkaline, and also that is bad. So every year, after every cycle, we do tests, and those tests tell us what is in the soil and what is not in the soil, so that we can know as we're preparing the baby to go now, the mother to go back now to. This mother is in maternity. You can see this mother is in maternity. No, she's actually. This is what you call, sorry, I'll use analogies that we all understand, yeah? This tree is preparing, it's like a woman who is just preparing to get pregnant, right? And at that point in time, there are certain types of body conditions that she requires. Ndio either mtoto ingie na akae ama asiingie. She may conceive or not. And that is why you say, this is the uterus. All these fruits you're seeing, all those flowers you're seeing, is where the conceiving happens. And that will determine on how much feeding that is done there. So anyway, yes.
Okay, I had done myself a soil test. I found something somewhere. And I had a pH 7, so that should be the
neutral.
Should be neutral.
Yeah.
And since I supposed to lower it a little bit down to get to that level, 6.5 and 6.8, I was told to do gypsum.
Yes.
It's correct?
Yeah, yeah, correct. Yeah.
Yeah. 6.5 is 7 bad?
No, 7 not bad.
It's not bad. It's not that bad.
Yes.
It's not that bad. But
yeah.
Let me give an input on that. The reason as to why you do soil test is basically to understand where you lie. Madam here has mentioned that this and also there that our avocado will do between 5.5, maximum 7. You are there. Ideally, what happens? There are two elements that will be. It's called locked in acidic soils. We have one element that is called phosphorus. That is a macronutrient. And also we have another one that is called calcium, which is a micronutrient. So in this particular soil, we have compositions. We have nitrogen, we have phosphorus, and we have potassium. These are macronutrients. Basically what that means is that for this tree to survive, it requires this amount in huge amounts. It requires that nutrition in huge amounts. So when you do the soil analysis and you realize from the results that you have inadequate or below optimal N, P, and K, then you basically know you are in trouble. Nitrogen is not a bad thing to lack because it is easily compensated through application of either organic or inorganic fertilizers. Phosphorus, purely you replenish that through inorganic fertilizers. So if your soil pH is acidic, this phosphorus will be available in this soil, but it will be locked and not be available to the to the plant. So you realize your soils, when you do the soil test, the results are positive, high phosphorus. But then the crop is showing you, and you will see those deficiencies. And we'll talk about them. The crop will be showing deficiencies of phosphorus. But when you do the analysis, they are available. So basically, you come in very quickly with the agricultural line, you balance your pH, and they unlock. Same case applies to calcium. You'll do your analysis, get your soil that has calcium, but it is not available to the crop. We'll talk when we get to the orchard, the importance of calcium. So when you unlock through liming, then immediately that calcium is released. So for those two parameters, you have to be very cautious and very keen, be very keen when you balance out the soil pH that you madam. Am I too fast?
That is very important when you're doing farming.
I got the soil test is important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm
Sorry, I missed when she asked about the frequency of liming.
Yeah.
With the same,
The frequency depends with soil test, and soil test we do annually,
Yeah.
every year.
Every year you
Yeah.
redo. Then it will tell you, should I lime again or leave? Because there is a danger of overdoing it or not doing it.
Yeah.
So will you do it on where you're planting around the canopy, or you'll do it on the
Yeah. Soil test, maybe you can.
Okay.
Let
Oh,
me-
the liming.
the soil test?
No, the soil test. Okay.
Let me answer that. When you are doing your soil sampling, you realize it is a universal, practice that you need to understand. Your farm is like this farm. It has different locations, different soil types, and even the vegetation here is different from whatever area.
Between slopes and times?
Correct.
Yeah.
So what you basically do is that you map up your farm. You map up your farm, and then you understand the position of the soil types. You realize in your farm you can have areas with deep lead soils, others, another small section, you get a bit of loam, so you have to map it. Then when you map it, you do what we call composite sampling. What composite sampling is that you have to come up with a sampling procedure. You start from point A, then you take another from point B, several points. Then, how do you take your samples? You should not take your sample on the topsoil. Yeah. 10 centimeters, 0 to 10 centimeters, you don't take your sample from there. Why don't you take your samples from there? Because much of the agricultural activities, application of this manure, application of fertilizer, will take place within this top. So the results,
So it will alter
Correct.
where the plant. But now
and your root zone,
so we want to replenish the plant.
exactly. And you realize your root zone is below 20 centimeters going down.
Yeah.
Okay.
So your soil sampling should be done between 15 centimeters down,
Down.
not 15 centimeters up. So you have to scoop the topsoil, remove it, then at 15-20 centimeters, that's where you do your sample. You take the sample 1, you go to the next station, the other station, then you can get a chandelure, you mix together, you make what we call a composite sample. That is what you take to the lab for analysis.
a question. Can I do my own soil sampling?